Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well, and I thought I would do a quick little video about my thoughts on Battlefield 6. A game that I enjoy, but I will admit, it has its fair share of problems. And in this video, I just want to state the pros and cons about the game. I won't be able to go through everything in this video, so I'm only going to express the issues about the game that I have experienced with my time playing the game, and talk about what makes the game great in my opinion. Anyways, let's get started with my complaints about the game, and then afterwards I'll talk about the pros of my game. About the game. Anyways, let's get started. My first problem with the game is the main menu HUD. This might seem like a minor issue to some, but for me, I just hate it. I hate that some games are starting to adopt this Hulu style main menu HUD. I'm not trying to search for a TV show, I just want to find a game mode and jump into the action. It just makes navigating the menu confusing and difficult, as it can sometimes take a while to find the game mode you want to play. A simple fix for this is just setting up the game modes vertically again like in BF3. It was fast, simple, and intuitive at the same time. Next in the list are the maps. Overall I think they're okay, but depending on the game mode, some maps suck to play on. The biggest example of this is New Sorbik City. Probably one of the most disliked maps in the game. I hate playing this map in objective-based game modes, specifically Breakthrough, because of the campers, who get on top of the buildings and can pin down the attackers. Unless you have a tank, heli, or a good sniper, those are the only ways you can take down the campers. I will say this, you can destroy the buildings, but in my opinion, I feel like DICE should allow players to completely destroy the buildings. That way you can get rid of the camping spots, as well as change the flow of the map. Similar to the Shanghai map in Battlefield 4 when you destroyed the skyscraper. Speaking of game modes, why does keeping weapons class locked have to be a game mode? Personally, I feel like keeping weapons class locked should be the default, just like in previous BF games. That way it prevents one class from being OP. However, one way DICE tried to get around this issue was by giving some classes weapon proficiencies for the gun they are supposed to use. For example, if you're playing support and you use LMGs, then you either have faster ADS, as well as no sprint speed penalties. Then again, if you play it smart, you can get around these weapon penalties no matter which class you use. Going back to the maps, another complaint about the maps is that, due to the map design, some maps feel small and cramped. Combine that with the faster movement in BF6, and as a result, it feels like you're being constantly bombarded by enemy fire or explosives, which does not allow you to take a break from the chaotic battles and think of your next strategy. They need to add more larger maps in the game, and if DICE is feeling lazy to make a large map, they can add maps from previous BF games like Caspian Border and Gold Mud Railway. That way, these large maps can adjust for different class play styles, have more emphasis on the vehicle playstyle, and we get some classic maps to play on. But still, DICE shouldn't depend on remaking old maps, right? I just want to see DICE try to make new large maps. My last complaint with the game is due to how dark the graphics are and how dull the character models look due to their coloring. It is hard to spot enemies as they can blend into the environment. Even after adjusting the game settings as well as my TV settings, I still have trouble spotting the enemies. There are situations when I get killed because an enemy blends in with the debris, and by the time I realize it's an enemy player, it's already too late for me to react. I think that's enough complaining about BF6. Now let's start talking about the pros of BF6 and what I find great about the game in my opinion. My first pro with the game is that we are back to the classic 4-class system with the return of Assault, Support, Engineer, and Recon classes. It looks like DICE learned their mistakes from BF 2042 and realized that players do not like the hero shooter gameplay. We also can't forget those wind quotes.
That was something, right? Yeah, Angel does it again.
Next is that we get a lot of weapons this time around to play with. I like how each weapon feels unique when you use them, and how you have to adjust your playstyle for each weapon if you want to master them. Not only that, but there are so many ways to customize your weapon with the amount of attachments you have. Plus, some of these weapons have their own unique attachments too, which makes the weapon feel a lot more special and unique. Third, I like the variety of game modes. We got your classic Conquest mode, Escalation, the best game mode in my opinion, Breakthrough, and many other game modes that you can choose from. Most likely, they will release more game modes in the future, but again, as I mentioned previously for Breakthrough, and this goes for Rush as well, I feel like the defenders have more of an advantage because of the way the maps are designed. But overall, I am still able to enjoy the game modes. And I have some sound advice for you guys. If you decide to play Team Deathmatch, just be careful. Get ready for a sweat fest, because I feel like that's where all the COD boys are at right now. But hey, that's just me. And again, beware if you play Team Deathmatch. Another thing I like about BF6 is that the destructible environments are back. Not as grand as the Levolution from BF4, but I'm glad it's back because you can use the environmental destruction to your advantage and it can change the flow for some maps. A great example of this is in the map Empire State, with the bridge that connects the two buildings that have B and D in them. You can destroy that bridge to prevent the enemy team from having a shortcut to either B or D, which forces them to take the long way to reach those points. You can also take out enemies by using destructible environments to your advantage too, which is fun. This is just a personal preference, but unlike COD, I'm glad that BF6 does not have SPMM. I'm able to enjoy the matches without having to worry about going tryhard mode and playing against sweats. Then dread that the next match might be another sweat fest. In BF6, I feel like the teams are equally balanced in terms of skill, and that your victory is earned because you coordinated as a team and played the objectives. Well, we made it to the end of the video, and like I said in the beginning, I think BF6 is a solid game. However, it has its fair share of problems. I hope you guys enjoyed my opinions. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game. Is it bad or good? And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace. Stay safe out there.